good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Sports Battery. I am Monte with my co-host Matt and our special Ravens guest, Kyndle. How y'all doing this evening?
Doing real good, man. Doing good. How about yourself?
Can't complain, can't complain. How you doing this evening, Matthew?
Living the dream, man. Drafts 2 days away. I can't wait. I've been looking. Couple things I can feel like I can predict them, but then there's other things I just don't know right now. It's too close.
Yes, sir, and everyone. Tomorrow, April 23rd, Matt's
Oh,
birthday. Yes,
Happy
sir.
thanks,
birthday.
guys. Thank you, guys.
Looking at the Orioles just getting their ass kicked by the Nationals, but it's okay. It's still DMV, so I can't even be mad. I'm still mad, but we can't even be mad. You know what I'm saying? We'll be at the game tomorrow at National Stadium, so it should be a good time.
And I didn't even get an invite.
But
This
not here to talk about baseball. We're here to talk about the NFL. Kendall,
yes, sir.
the Ravens. What are the Ravens going to do with their first draft pick in the first round? Could they pick an edge rusher, a DB, receiver, or best available? What you thinking?
So I'm not gonna lie to you. After looking at how this whole free agency has gone so far, I say we really either pick a cornerback or an O lineman first, really, or even a defensive lineman, because I'm pretty sure we were all shocked to hear the retirement of Michael Pierce,
Right?
which, like I said, it really shocked me. But to be honest, I really think we should go for one of those two positions first.
Okay.
Like, we just our Darius Washington just signed his tender, so he's staying with the team, so that's a really good thing.
Staying with
We need a
staying
little
with
bit of more safeties on the team as well. But like I said, cornerbacks and O linemen are really like most needs.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying the best available for corner or anybody on offense or defensive line?
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So far it looks like the Ravens are projected to pick the safety or the DB from Georgia.
I did mention that earlier. Actually, I did mention that.
Yeah. So he's a two-time All-American. Um, so we'll see what the Ravens could potentially do. Um, so do you think the Ravens should either, if they don't see anything like DN or offensive line wise, what do you think? Who else they should go for? Do you think they should go offense, or if there's a best available receiver, do you think they should take a receiver?
Well, I definitely think we should take another receiver. In my opinion, like, no offense to the DeAndre Hopkins signing, but we can all be honest. This would have been a great signing if it was what year? Like, probably like 2014, 13, or whatever. Not saying he's definitely going to be a good wide receiver three. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
I just feel like we need to get like a lot more better weapons than just like Zay Flowers can't really do it on his own.
Okay.
Like, he's literally our first Raven in history to be a wide receiver to go to the Pro Bowl.
Right. Okay.
Is
And
that true? There's
nope,
no other Pro Bowl wide receiver. Not Derek Mason, not Anquan Boldin,
nope,
none of them.
nope. Zay
Nah.
Flowers is
Man.
Steve
literally the first.
Smith.
Nope, no. Zay Flowers was the first. I would no Steve Smith. He was a really good wide receiver for us, but he actually wasn't our best wide receiver. I say our best wide receiver was Anquan Bolden.
I say so too, man. Even
Best receiver, Ravens best
Torrey Smith
receiver.
had all those ridiculous catches, but I think Anquan
Yeah,
Boldin's the best
Anquan was
Raven.
definitely our number one when he played with us.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I like the Hopkins signing, honestly. To be honest with
I mean,
you,
yes, I'd like it too. Don't get me wrong.
I think he's still usable. Like normally, when the veterans go to the Ravens, they normally do well. We revive people's, you know, I wouldn't say careers, but we still show them that they still got it.
But
Yeah.
listen, you got to take a chance. You're spending so much money on Derrick Henry. You can't go pay for Devonte Adams too and Lamar Jackson. It doesn't work that way. You can't have all the
Also, Lamar's pretty much got the biggest contract on the
Yeah,
team.
you can't pay for all those guys, so you got to draft somebody or you got to take a chance on an older guy. So you got uh, probably the best older vet. You know, you got him on a veteran deal, right? Out of
Yes,
all the guys you could have got on a veteran deal, do you think there's someone better than DeAndre Hopkins at wide receiver?
as in like overall or like right now.
Anybody that was available this past off season at all in free agency?
Well, it did kind of shock me that we did sign him, but in all honesty, I really wanted Cooper Cup.
Yeah, but he got paid a lot more money than what DeAndre Hopkins was going to get. And that's what I'm telling you is you guys are paying so much money for Henry and Lamar. You don't get one of those guys too.
No, you're definitely right. You're definitely right.
So that's why you got to draft or take a chance on a veteran. And you got the best veteran available.
I mean, but well, speaking of wide receivers, if you really want me to be honest, I wish we could get Travis Hunter, but I know it's definitely not gonna
Yeah.
happen. Yeah,
But
and
listen,
there's no way.
there's a lot of guys that are going to be in the late 20s that are going to be good. Maybe the Ohio State wide receiver, there's that guy from Missouri.
Hmm.
And think about it. Think about like when you guys got Zay Flowers. Like you didn't really know who he was until we got here, did you?
I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I really didn't. But I will say this though, he is definitely a step up from. No offense to him, he's like I still give him praise. He was pretty good here and there, but he is definitely a step up from Marquise Brown.
Well, you see, Hollywood Brown didn't even want to be here, so
He didn't.
that hurts too. You know, because if you don't want to be here, how are you going to play well here?
And not only that, like I also kind of like while watching his gameplay, it seemed like whenever he's wide open, he can barely catch, but when he's like pressured, like he can get the ball, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. But like to each their own. Like if you play better that way, play that way. But like take this for example, when we played against the Lions in the se- the season after the COVID season, 2021, and when Justin Tucker kicked that 66-yard field goal, three wide open passes and drop them. All of them were touchdowns. Whereas though you got Zay Flowers that literally catch mostly anything. Like Zay Flowers literally had
Yeah.
more receiving yards his
Okay.
rookie year
That's true.
than Marquise
Sorry,
Brown
I ran
did.
into technical difficulties when going in and out.
But you see,
Mhm.
but you see, at the end of the day, I hope
Not
the
saying that
main
I
thing
didn't
is
like him. I think he was pretty good, but you know.
there's Luther Burden. There's the guy from Ohio State, Demonte. I can't say his name. You know who I'm talking about. There's a few other guys at
Right.
wide receiver that are going to be available from like picks 25 to maybe the top second round picks, right?
Hmm.
And those are the guys. Think about how the first round works, man. You get everyone that gets drafted in the first round gets 4 years with the team option for a fifth year. So a wide receiver position, people are going to trade up, man. You know, people are going to take wide receivers like that in the low 20s, in the high 20s too. But, you know, the first round ends at pick 32. And I'm
Hmm.
telling you, there's going to be a handful of wide receivers. And yeah, this isn't a type of draft where you'll see a type of quarterbacks go down there. I honestly don't see anybody trading up between picks 20, like 9 to 32 to go get a quarterback, you know, like they did with Lamar at 32.
Hmm.
So, you know, Jackson Dart may go, you know, 21st overall to the Steelers. Who knows? But no one's trading up for a quarterback past that. But these wide receivers, man, you can get a good one, but you might get that safety from Georgia. Who knows?
Yeah, Ravens are always really good for getting good players on defense. Not saying that they don't get a lot of good players on offense, but we've always been a defensive team.
Okay.
Yeah, they always draft defense. You're right. I mean,
Hmm.
I like it. So, how do you think the Ravens' coming season is going to look like? Because Steelers don't have a QB right now. It looks like they're going to draft a QB. The Bengals are still the Bengals. I mean, they re-signed T. Higgins,
so,
Chase. They don't have a defense still, and the Browns are still the Browns. They signed Joe Flacco, um,
watch
and they
out.
also they also signed oh my gosh, Mitch Trubisky. So the Ravens should still take the NFC North, right?
AFC North.
AFC North. Sorry. So how do you think they? Do you think they could still go far this year?
I think we can still go far, but when it comes to these big playoff games, I just think it's for some reason it either comes down to like either I really just think it comes down to coaching at this point. No offense, but like let me just put this for example. Have you noticed like whenever we run the ball more, we seem to win, but like when we like run the ball a lot less, we lose.
I agree. I agree.
And like I mean I was watching that whole game, but like how many touches did Derrick Henry even get in that game actually? Because
I,
didn't he sit out like for most of like the second quarter?
yeah, he didn't get as many touches as he normally would in the snow at that too. So, um, I mean, yeah, that's true too. But it would also boil down to the turnovers.
Turnovers, most definitely, yes.
But yes, I do agree. Yes, it seems like when we run the ball less, just like when we played the AFC Championship versus the Chiefs, we only ran the ball 6 times.
Yes, most definitely.
We see that you guys should draft defense then because you got to ditch the run game when you're down. When you're playing the Chiefs and you're down, Derrick Henry's on the bench, man.
Yep.
That's
And
$13 million in salary cap
yep,
on the bench.
I agree.
You know what I
Uh,
mean?
Right.
right now, the NFL has the Eagles and Ravens going to predicted going to the Super Bowl right now. Okay, so um, those are like the closest odds right now with Vegas saying that the Ravens and Eagles are the top right now. So we'll see. So it's really up to, and the Ravens just re-signed Harbaugh to a 3-year extension. Um, so we'll see. It was the locker room that wanted Harbaugh still. So maybe this could be the year. Last year 4 turnovers dropped by Andrews, and Lamar interception and fumbles.
Well, that was unfortunate, but you take away that unfortunate play, the Ravens go further, man. I think you guys
Right.
just get a better
Well, I was just
defense.
saying in general, like just the turnovers in general, like you giving the other team good field
Like,
position.
right, turnovers, I'm not going to lie, that seems to hurt us the most, really, when it comes down to us. Like, if we're losing games and we're trying to come back.
Yep,
Like, if you know you can't make if you know you can't make the throw, or like, just why throw it in the first place? Like, didn't he throw like 2 interceptions in that game? Like the first one he threw down deep, but like that wasn't even like close enough to touch the receiver's hands.
yep,
Like it's like he technically just threw it like straight to the cornerback. I do love LJ, but like I just feel like sometimes he can make a lot of plays happen, but there are also some plays where he
tries to
tries
be
to force
Superman.
it, but like it ends up not really going well.
Yeah,
Like he thinks he could do it, but it's not gonna happen.
right. Okay, I agree. Okay, so yeah, Ravens are still the Ravens. Even though they lost Pierce, I think they still can make it happen.
I
Um,
most definitely do.
they pick up a DB, I think they'll be pretty good. Pick up a edge rusher, I think that'll be good. That's what they need. They need someone to go after the quarterback. You need someone to help Hamilton back there. Um, you
I would
know,
say offensive tackle. You guys is going to go CB, edge, or offensive tackle, or maybe wide receiver.
correct.
But there's a couple of all. I mean, maybe there's that guy from Texas that we like, Jahadi Barham.
Yep.
I don't know where he's going to go. I don't, I mean, as we get closer, I don't think he's going to be there, maybe. But, initially, I think people were looking at him possibly being there. No one knows what's going to happen with these wide receivers. We don't have a lot of quarterbacks that are going to go first, right? So there's going to be a lot of offensive linemen. Think about it. There's only one tight end. There's that tight end from Penn State. He'll go somewhere, right?
Right.
But other than that tight end, who is everybody? They're a quarterback, they're a corner, they're a lineman, or a wide receiver. And there's
Right.
going to be like 3 running backs in the whole first round.
Yep. You're right.
Maybe I think there's only two. I think there's well, obviously Gentee, and then Hampton from North Carolina, maybe.
Yep.
But then, how many wide receivers do you think are going to go in this round? This isn't a big wide receiver class.
And
No.
speaking of wide receivers, that one that you were talking about earlier from Ohio State, how do you say his name? Emeka or
Yeah,
Emik? Like I
where's he
said,
going?
we could possibly get him. I wouldn't mind him. Or who are the other two I'm thinking of?
There's
What's
a
the?
guy named Burden.
I mean, we could. I mean, we could get him too. I got to do a little more research on that. But the other two I'm thinking about are one is from Texas and the other one is from Arizona.
So Matthew Golden is the
Nathing Golden.
Texas.
Matthew Golden, yes. And how do you pronounce this dude's first name?
That
Harris
guy with the
McMillan.
yeah, but that guy's supposed to go way before you guys pick.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
gonna be gone quick.
Yeah, so think about so Matthew Golden's a realistic thing then.
He's supposed to go like
Mhm.
top 15. McMillan.
But yeah, I'm seeing that too, but like I said, these other guys, these are guys that could possibly go to the 20s, they could possibly go to the 30s,
Yeah.
but this is going to be a higher defensive class. I mean, there's that guy from Michigan, the defensive tackle. There's those two edge rushers from Michigan. There's one from Boston College. There's a lot of edges in this draft. So you got to be careful because sometimes the one on draft day, the one you may know the most, may not be the one that's the best for the team at the end of the day. I remember when the Redskins got Ryan Kerrigan, I had no idea who this guy was. He's our franchise leader in sacks now. Shit, I got that one wrong on my end, right?
Yep.
So you might get someone like that who you've never heard of. But going into it, you guys may trade down too. What do you think
I
about
mean,
that?
if we do, I really don't see that happening. But if we do, because I, I forgot if it was fake or real news, but a lot of people are saying there's a chance that we could trade up in the draft and also trade Mark Andrews.
Mm.
But I really don't see that happening.
Who would
I
you go get if you traded up?
say it again.
If you traded up, what do you think would be the expectations of what pick and who you'd get?
It'll probably be an edge.
Yeah, most
How
probably.
high up do you? So what are you at right now?
We're at 27.
So
27.
how high up do you think you're going to?
If not top 10, then I'd say at least top 15.
I would say yeah. I better say 15 or 20. I also like that guy. I think the sleeper edge is Mike Green from Marshall. I think he's a sleeper.
But yeah, I mean, listen, don't discredit the idea that there's a lot of guys in the second and third round that play offensive linemen that are going to be starters but not Pro Bowlers, right? So don't think that if you pass on something like that, you can't get it here, So it's all about what you do in these additional day picks. I totally see Washington trading down in a lot of ways because of all the day 2 and 3 picks we gave up between the Debo trade, the Lattimore trade, and the Tunsil trade. I could totally see it. But then again, I could totally see them getting someone that can grow with Jaden Daniels. So I would love a wide receiver here. Love a lockdown corner if we could, man.
Right.
I like that guy. I like the safety that is from Georgia that you guys are trying to get. Hey, man, if you guys don't want him, I'm open to take.
We need another safety. We need another we need another hard hitting safety.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I mean, hey,
Hard hitting
man, it's
safety
been
we
a long
had before
time.
Tom Hamilton with
Yeah.
the great Ed Reed.
Starks is gonna be a yeah. It's be okay. So, I mean, we'll see.
I mean,
It's
I'm
gonna
not
be
gonna lie.
crazy.
I still like the way our Darius Washington did play this season, but we still need to build that depth. Like, I'm not
Biggest
gonna
what?
lie. I feel like if we did draft him first round, that wide receiver, sorry, that safety yellow talking about Starks. If anything, then he might actually be this. Um, which safety is Kyle Hamilton? Is he strong or
Yeah.
Oh,
Strong.
okay? Then yeah, Starks would definitely be far safety.
Yep. He would. He'd be back there with helping out Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys think Shadur Sanders goes? I'm seeing so many different things lately.
If anything, look. as much as the Steelers, need a quarterback, there's no way they're trading up. If they do trade up, I would be surprised and bite my own tongue. But if
Look,
anything, really, the team that needs a QB right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't that be the Titans? I can really see him going
we're
there.
getting Cam Ward with the
They're getting
first
Cam
pick.
Ward.
Mhm.
They're getting
They
Cam
say the
Ward.
Browns and the Giants are passing on him,
I was gonna say,
and
yeah, no. As soon as I saw they drafted, I mean, not drafted, excuse me, picked up Winston and then Russell Wilson at first, I was like, no, there's no need for them to get him now.
I'm seeing. What about there's the Raiders at 6, the Saints at 9, and the Steelers at 21.
If anything, I'd say he'll either go to the Raiders or Saints, really.
But they say that Austin Gentee might, go 6 possibly.
You know what's crazy? I honestly think he might get drafted to
But
the Jaguars for some weird
actually,
reason.
no, I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie.
See,
So,
that's what I'm thinking too, man. And I'm totally, part of me is like, I'm not completely sold on the idea that Patriots are going to pass on him too. And what's even crazier is I think the Browns and Giants are open to trading their picks right now too, because they're not really in love with what's going on. But at the end of the day, I don't know, man, about Gentee. He's going 4, 5, 6, or 7. In my mind, he's not going further than that. But there's a lot of hype for him going 6 right now. And then ninth, there's Shadur Sanders at 9, right? To the
Yep.
Saints. And then the Steelers pick 21st overall.
and actually, didn't they just let go Najee Harris because they do need more running backs? There was actually somebody was bringing up some points to me, not saying that it is gonna happen, but could it be? It might be a possible chance. Do you think Genty does fall to that 21st pick?
No, there's no way he passes the 7th, man. There's no
Nah,
way.
he's gonna be gone. He's top. He's top five pick.
I
Top.
Yeah,
mean, no,
so
I
we're
got you.
talking about him maybe going to the Patriots at 4 right now. That's a real.
Oh yeah, they definitely need running backs as well.
They need everything, man. They need everything there, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but
Hey, they
listen,
need everything. The
Pete
Titans definitely need
Carroll's the
everything
coach.
too. But
6 overall pick at the Raiders. The head coach is Pete Carroll, who had Marshawn Lynch. So that's a tough one, man. You pass on the second coming of Marshawn Lynch for a guy that you're not really sold on at QB. I don't know.
oh, that's who
Yeah,
they compare
that's
Genty to.
true.
You know what's crazy about it, man? I'm starting to think that it's a real thing that Gentee is 6 to the Raiders and then Sanders could go 9 to the Saints.
I like it.
But
So
that's what I'm
speaking of,
saying. The
let
fifth
me ask
pick,
you this: what pick do you think his brother falls in? Like, or what round?
I don't even know.
probably third or fourth or fifth. I mean, listen, when you don't come in with the type of clout that your brother has, then it's like let's say that like you look at Bronny James, for example. Let's say that his younger brother, like you look at the Jordans have many kids, right? But only the one is like really famous, right?
Yeah,
But you see what I'm saying? It's like you look at the other ones and you compare them. It's just not fair. So for him, it's like so Shadur has that clout to come in higher, but then the other one, you go, listen, if I get you, I don't get that clout with you, so you better fill in a need. You see what I'm saying?
I
Like
got you.
he doesn't have the clout to be a first round pick, so like he could truly just go anywhere at
There's
that
also
point.
a lot of DBs that are higher,
That's what I'm
rated.
saying, man. And you don't have the clout in this DB class.
Yep,
So your brother's like a top 3 quarterback in here, and you're like, in the 20s for what you do.
yep. So, all right. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Sports Battery. Thank you, Kyndle, for tuning in with us. We'll holler at you right after the draft to see how you like the pick for the Ravens. And Matthew, we'll turn up for your birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday again.
Thanks, man.
And take
Happy
care.
birthday! How old you turning?
Turning big 30, guys. You
Woo!
know what? This is our
Shit.
51st episode, believe it or not.
Yes, yes, yes. Let's get it.
We're
All
just
right,
getting
everyone.
started.
Yeah, just getting started. All right,
And the
y'all.
you was never that excited for my birthday.
Oh, shut up, man. Damn. You got killed a vibe. You ain't turning 30.
I won about 5 more years.
Hey, that's
Oh,
what's up.
wow.
It's going to fly by, too.
Yeah, they will.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.